Conversations like this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna stand and I'm miserable. Do y'all not know when you get degrees that there are
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Just a Girl Show. My name is Janine. For those who are new here, if you're a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, of course, and you are here, make sure you subscribe. Happy Saturday. I have not been going live that much, but I said I would be back, and I'm back. And we are going to be chatting this afternoon about this statue in Times Square. But more importantly, what I'm going to be doing today, which is a little bit different on my channel. And I know that I have a very large male base platform over here, which I appreciate. Y'all said stream on TikTok too. My TikTok has been different, y'all. I don't go live on TikTok anymore like that. So they can come over here if they want to. Should I stream on TikTok too? I should stream on TikTok right now. Because what I'm about to do is I'm going live on. I'm gonna go live on both. Okay, I'm gonna stream on both, and I'm gonna tell I'm gonna go both. So I'm streaming on TikTok. Hey sister, I'm gonna stream on both. Because I don't really go live on TikTok like that no more, y'all. So especially not about these type of topics, but I'm gonna go with it. Thank you. I'm gonna go with it. But no, thank y'all for coming and joining. So we are talking about the 12-foot tall statue in Times Square. But more importantly, y'all, what I'm gonna do today which is different. I'm gonna be doing my makeup on this channel. And what I'm doing today is not really about like I said, I know I have a very large male base platform over here, but I know I've been getting a lot of great female supporters on my channel. So what I want to do is, honestly, I want to talk about just the laziness in the Black community when it comes to Black women. I want to talk about the laziness in the Black community. And when it comes down to I had my charm school a few weeks ago. Y'all know I held that for teenage girls in the city of Philadelphia. And sorry, y'all. And we talked about that. We talked about being comfortable. We talked about how they feel like they shouldn't have to change for nobody. And I'm just like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to, I want to understand that you need to be willing to change. You need to care about your perception and your image. And unfortunately, I feel like, I'm going to just say it, that statue represents the majority of Black women. And I know people feel like, oh, they're just stereotypes and things. No, we're lazy. We're lazy, y'all. And let's not pretend like we're not. Because my husband was saying this too. He said, let that statue have been of a feminine, beautiful, attractive, business boss quote unquote chick in the middle of Times Square. The women who don't look like that would have been mad. They don't respect the woman who has herself all put together. They act like they do. They act like they do. It's all her body's tea and all of this stuff, but they don't really respect it. These women don't really like for you to really, really be out here getting it, because we're lazy. And we've adopted this very lazy mentality that we should be able to wear whatever we want, go outside however we want to go outside, look however we want to look. And that's just the reality of where we are. That is where we are, y'all. We really think we can do whatever we want to do. And I feel like it's just like, it don't take that much work. That lady had no bra on. And where'd they get the idea from? She had no bra on. Y'all, she had no bra on. At least that's what it looks like. Either her breasts were real low or there was no bra. Let me show y'all, before I get into doing my makeup, let me just show y'all real quick so y'all can see. I'm going live on YouTube. If you want to join over on the YouTube stream, the link is in my bio. But let me just show y'all. We're going to just make this a little bit bigger. Yep. Oh, see it. Let me go back right here. Y'all see it? Come on. Come on. This is not funny. This is a real thing, y'all. This is a real thing. Y'all, I'm streaming on my YouTube. So my TikTok subscriber, my TikTok followers, if you want to come over to my YouTube and see the full stream and what I'm sharing, you got to come over to my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio under Just a Girl Talk. Come on over to YouTube. Come on over to YouTube. So I make it off here on TikTok and y'all can come over to YouTube. Come over to my YouTube channel and let's chit chat. Okay. All right. I see you on YouTube. But do y'all see it? So let me say this, right? Someone asked in the chat about my charm school, what made me do a charm school and how did your husband deal with it? I don't know what you mean by how did my husband deal with it? It was for teenage girls. I don't really know, like he's proud of me, obviously. And what made me do it is I've always said this, my focus and my love and my efforts is all about the youth. It's all about the youth, right? That's what I think about. And I watch the Black women in my community, the Black women that are all over the world, the image that is out here that has been created by us, that is influencing young Black girls. I've been an educator for many, many years, and I've been in the schools for many, many years, and I've seen it. I've seen the influence. I've dealt with the nasty attitudes. I've dealt with it. And there's nothing cute about it. They come to school lazy. They come to school lazy, just like that. No, just like that, y'all. They come to school lazy, just like that. No bra, pajamas on, because they have seen this reality in their communities of Black women thinking it's okay to walk outside looking like anything. That's what they've seen. That's what has been the reality in the community. Wear whatever you want to wear. Be free. Do whatever you want to do. Put no effort into your appearance. Because if you do, it's a very weird dynamic, right? Because if you care about how you look, you're a pick me. If you care about how you look, you're a pick me. That's what they say. Right? But if you walk outside naked with no clothes on, you're liberated. I don't get it. I don't get it. If you walk outside with no clothes on, you're liberated. But if you walk outside caring about how you're perceived, you're a pick me. It would never make sense to me. It would never make sense. So we have these children who look just like her, lazy, don't put effort into their outfits, don't put effort into their appearance, don't put effort into changing their attitudes, because the women in their communities act just like that and look just like that. You would have never caught a girl in school like that back in the day, willingly coming to school like that. Never. Now, your family just ain't have it, and we've had kids in our school, in our classes, that we knew that they didn't have money and they would, be, on the more unkept side. But if they had the choice to choose from their clothes in their closet, they would not have chose that. We've adapted this, like I said, this very lazy, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to put any effort into my look. No effort. And I'm not saying this has to be about putting effort means putting makeup on. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just going to do a little quick 1-2 makeup, just because I feel like a lot of women are watching my channel now, and I'm like, you can put a little bit of effort. Sometimes you may feel terrible, or you may not wake up on the right side of the bed, and sometimes just putting a little bit of makeup on, your favorite foundation, your favorite lip gloss, your favorite, like whatever it might be. But this idea, like, oh, I don't care how I look outside, people better take me as I am, it shouldn't matter, is the wrong way to think. It's the wrong way to think. And exactly, like, and we start to create our own we start to make up our own delusions. You look a mess. That's not natural. You look a mess. You look unkept. You look like you stink. I'm gonna just put on a little bit of this Danessa Myricks blurring brown powder. Again, it's for the women who are watching, y'all. It don't take much. I'm just gonna do something really quick, just to, like, if I wanted to just do something that I'm headed out the door and I want to look a little bit more polished, and you are into makeup, or you trying to get into makeup, and like, it don't take much. When it comes to the statue, right? The idea of the statue being up, on one end, I'm like, yeah, take it down. Take it down. But the other side of me is like, no, leave it up. Let these heifers see how we look. Let these heifers see what they think about us. That's where the other side of my mind goes. Let it stay up. Walk past it every day and see how foolish we look in this world. How unkept we look in this world. Let it stay up. That's where my mind goes with that. Like, let it stay up. They don't care about how they look out here. Cool. Let it stay up. Because that's how they see us, because that's how we look. Taking it down, it takes it down. But that don't mean it does anything for the community. We still look like that every day, all day long. The purpose is, they said the purpose of the statue. Y'all, first of all, make sure y'all like the live. Support the channel. If you have any super chats you want to send over, any special message you want me to read or support, share. All support is greatly appreciated over here. I thank y'all for watching and tuning in. And like I said, share the live out. So apparently the purpose of the statue, they say, is, I don't know, to like be inspiring, to be encouraging, to like combat just the two men and the one. Honestly, it's a bunch of BS. It's really a bunch of BS. Like, I don't know. I think this is supposed to be inspiring. I don't know, what is it supposed to do other than feed our delusion. This is, to me, it's pandering. It's pandering to Black women. That's what it gives. It gives they are pandering to Black women because they know that there's a majority of Black women who look like that. The majority of women who look like that have a delusional mind that they think they look good. They think that they're perfect. They think that there's nothing wrong with them. So we can pander to them and we'll keep them where they're at. It's almost like another feminist movement. Let's lie to them. Let's tell them that they look good. Let's tell them that they're phenomenal. Let's tell them that their body types are beautiful. That's telling them that beauty is subjective. Beauty is not subjective. Let's stop with that. Let's stop with that, y'all. We know what is beautiful, right? When we talk about there's beautiful flowers, there's beauty in the world, but we're talking about the aesthetics of women. The aesthetic of women and how we look in the world, we know there's a difference between who's beautiful and who's not, who's cute, who's not, who's pretty, who's not. They feed us this nonsense to make us think that being overweight, obese is attractive, or that is okay. And it's not okay. It's harmful. It's very much dangerous and it's hurtful to our bodies. And it just keeps our community where it is. That's what it does, y'all. It just keeps our community right where it's at. Right at the bottom. It feeds very much so feeds the negative stereotypes of Black women. I'm gonna pop on some blush. That's all it does. The reality of it is, because we have so many delusional women in our community, y'all, they are not going to see it as a problem. That's the problem. That's why I think that's the bigger issue. We don't see this stuff as a problem. We think that we look good. Oh my God. It's always a car outside with their alarm going off whenever I start recording. Every single time. It's always a car outside. So I don't think that's the tough side of it. Majority of Black women in our community are delusional and they feed themselves a bunch of lies. So will they see it and think that it's not a good look for us? No. Most won't. Most won't. That's the problem. Most won't see it that way. Most will see it like, oh my God, I'm so inspired. It makes me as a plus size woman realize I can do anything that I want and I can stay big if I want to. And, I can end up in Times Square. That's what it does for us. So there's like two folds to it. This is the reality of where we are. This is the reality, y'all. How do we change this, though? How do we change this if we are living in a very delusional society? Like, how do we fix this? If everybody likes to lie to themselves, if the sisterhood is only lying to each other, if you tell the sisterhood the truth about what's going on, they will attack you. They will attack you. They will dox you. They will tear you down for being honest and saying, sis, that don't look good. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what it does. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything to make us look good. It really doesn't. And I think that that's the biggest problem. Oh my God, this car. That's the biggest problem, y'all. Because we never see this stuff as an issue. And y'all know that I've tried. I'm trying, shall I say. I'm trying to get my sisters to wake up, to stop being so defensive, to stop being so defiant, to stop thinking that they're celebrating us. They're not. They're not celebrating us. But we're so defensive and we don't think anything is wrong. They think everybody's lying. And we all can't be lying, y'all. We all can't be lying. We all can't be lying. But if you are surrounded around women who look like that statue, who have the attitude of what it appears to be the sassy, combative Black woman, you'll end up in that same, like, you won't see it as a problem. You just won't. You honestly won't see it as a problem because everybody around you has made you think that it's okay. You understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody has made you think that it's okay. Put a little bit more concealer. Someone asked, I'll put this up. What do I think? Which culture or race in the world do I think is the easiest to manipulate mentally, judging by what you have learned historically? I mean, I hate to say it, y'all, but Black women are. We are the easiest ones to manipulate. The easiest. We are, and it's been shown through the end of times. We are. We are. Because we don't live by the truth. That's the problem with our community. There's so much, we can see the truth right in front of our face and still be like, oh, that's a lie. Oh my God. Like, we are easy to manipulate. We're too easy to manipulate. And that's the sad problem. That's a sad thing, that we are so easy to manipulate. So easy to manipulate. It's unfortunate. And the reason that I say that is, if you look at, like I say, if you look at the history, look at the feminist movement, look at what it did to the Black community. You look what Black women did to their own community. They listened to white women tell them they didn't need the men, listen to white women tell them how great they would be, they were to do it by themselves and, get on welfare and all this stuff. And now look what it has did to us. Because a lot of times we're driven by money. We're not driven by family nowadays. We're driven by money. Money is driving the black women today. It's all about money. And if I can manipulate you with a bunch of money and tell you all this stuff, and it's going to lead to you having all, because that's all, they don't even want to do nothing if it don't involve money. They don't even want to build a family if they don't have all the money in the world. And if he don't got enough money for this, if he don't got enough money for that. So we have been driven by money and easy to manipulate because money is our, that's all we want. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we want is money. And they know that we're desperate for money. And they know that we thrive off of money. We will get pregnant just to get paid for the rest of our lives. Forget the child. It's the money. It's the money. And I don't know if y'all know, like for me, coming from if you are new on my channel, or if like you haven't really seen me on TikTok, where most people have like found me first, they hate what I have had to say over the past year or so about our community. They have hated it because I am speaking from not only just, you know, uh what I've seen growing up, but also in my professional career as an educator around many different families, children, all of that. I've seen it. I've seen it. I have seen it, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I've seen this stuff be a very real thing. But like I said, they've conditioned us to even think that being lazy and putting no effort into our appearance is liberation. Being lazy is not liberating. It's just lazy. That's it. It's nothing liberating about being lazy. It's nothing liberating about being unkept. It's nothing lazy. It's nothing liberating about walking outside with no bra on. It's just lazy. That's all. So when we talk about this stuff, women feel like whenever you call us to a higher being and you call us up to like do more and do better, they think you're like trying to tell them like, why do I got to do that? And why can I just be comfortable? And why can I? It's like, you can be comfortable, but why does comfortable mean coming out in pajamas? These are learned behaviors. These are learned behaviors. Again, I've seen kids walk into my school, into my office in their pajamas, in the slippers. The pajamas with the slippers, y'all. This is a real, very real thing. These are learned behaviors. And again, that you're being raised and taught to have this mindset that you don't have to, you should be accepted for however you are. Like, yes, the take me as I am, we've taken it way too far. That's what I'll say. We've taken the take me as I am narrative way too far. We've taken it way too far. The take me as I am rhetoric, we've taken it as a literal thing, and it's not a literal thing. That's the problem that we have, y'all. That we have made this lazy lack of effort into our appearance, into how we present ourselves. We've taken it in a way that, like, that it should be cool to just do whatever you want to do. I've been doing my beauty content because I like doing beauty content. That's what a lot of my content on TikTok is now. But I also wanted to, do it and hopefully like inspire women to just take a little bit of time and effort into their appearance. Like I said, everybody not into makeup, and I get it. I understand that. But I try to do something that's really natural. It's not going to make you look crazy. You're not looking like a drag queen. Just something to be like, okay, this makes me feel good. Like I said, we as Black women, we think that a lot of this stuff it should be normal, and we should just be able to do whatever we want to do, but we shouldn't. Thank you, sister. We shouldn't, y'all. We shouldn't be able to do whatever we want to do. Because doing whatever we want to do, y'all, has been detrimental. It has been, and it is detrimental. Doing whatever you want to do, showing up however you want to show up is detrimental. That's the problem. This is the reality of where we are, y'all. We are in a place of very much like, it should be whatever we want it to be, however we want it to be. Nothing should matter. And I think that that's the biggest thing. Like I said, even down to the way her hand is on her hip. It gets very sassy. It gets very much like that, like ghetto. Like it just gives all of that. Like, why? Why? But again, the answer to that question as to why is because that is who we are. That is who majority of Black women are. Aggressive, sassy, masculine, unapproachable. We're unapproachable. It gives don't talk to me. It gives I'm going to beat you up if you try to talk to me. That's the statue gives exactly what it is. Don't look my way. Don't it gives very much. I'm just saying. I'm just giving my opinion, and I don't like it. Did this makeup real quick, y'all, right? Just doing this real quick. Something simple, something that the girls can go back and watch. But what do y'all think? Like, what do y'all think has added to the laziness in our community when it comes to our appearance and our presentation? Like, what do y'all think it is? Like, what do y'all think has made this cool? I know what I think, but what do y'all think? Seriously. Like, this is not cool. This is not cool, y'all. There's nothing appeasing or attractive. Nothing. There's nothing appeasing or attractive at all about this. You know what I think the reality of it is when you talk about us as Black people feeling defeated, I think that if there's a sense of feeling defeated, I think it's because we put our energy into the wrong stuff. We put our energy into the wrong stuff. That's why we feel defeated. We put our energy into the wrong stuff. We waste our time on the wrong things. We have our priorities all messed up. So I think that feeling defeated, we just don't use our voices properly. We don't take the time to, get what we can get in the best manner. Thank you for the super chat. Let me read it. Okay, so let's pop the super chat up. Okay. Is it Jamari 81 says some folks praise the statue as a good representation of themselves. It should depict an image of what we aspire to become in our best selves. A statue is loving, healthy. Black family would be nice. Yeah. And that's why I said the statue is really tough because, right, it makes the statue, they make it look like, oh, it's great. That's me. I get it. I get it. You feel like that's me, but it doesn't, it's we don't think deeper than what it actually represents. Like if you go deep, if you go beyond surface level, like, oh, she's big, she's sassy, yeah, that's cool. But if you think about the meaning behind that, why did he put her hand on her hip? Why is she in that t-shirt? Why does she look unapproachable? Why is she 12 feet tall? Like, like it has a deeper meaning that it's messed up. It's messed up. Honestly. Shout out to the LLL. Lil, salute, Miss Lady Talk. Keep up the great content. I appreciate it. Thank you both for the super chats. I really appreciate it. Like I said, when I was growing up in school, you would never catch nobody coming to school in pajamas. You would never catch nobody coming to school in pajamas. No girl coming to school in bonnets and scarves. Like, if you came that way, we knew that you just ain't have it like that. All the kids knew that. The kids knew that you ain't got, your mom and dad ain't got no money, or we knew that you were just like the dirty kid. Like you knew that already. But now, y'all, this is just what it is. This is just what it is. We need order. We need guidance. We need dress codes. We need, like, I just watched this girl on TikTok. She said she moved to Dubai 3 months ago, and Dubai has doesn't have as much of the strict restrictions as they once did, but you obviously still can't walk outside looking like just completely exposed. And she's like mad that she's like, I want to wear this bikini, I got all my oil on, and I'm just annoyed that I can't go outside like this. And I'm like, well, why would you move to a country? This is a Black woman. I think she's from Atlanta or lived in Atlanta. Like, why would you move to a country that you can't just wear whatever you want? Like, you could walk outside in Atlanta like that. Why would you go to a country like that and then be mad that you can't go outside like that? Like, it doesn't make sense. The other side is like, why do we want to walk outside? Like, there should be parameters in place that you don't get to just walk on a regular street and your 2-piece bikini with your thong bottom out. You understand what I'm saying? Like, why? Why? You understand what I'm saying? I don't, it's literally like you are mad. I didn't know it was on. The camera was on. You are mad that they have boundaries and things in place that you just can't do. Make it make sense, y'all. Here's another super chat from DJ Torch and Friends, Live Empowerment Network. He says Black men have the highest DV, incarceration, lowest income, but somehow it's the Black woman's fault. Okay, Black women are the highest educated, employed women, but they're lazy, right? I think two things can be true, right? DV, incarceration, but that's true, right? They have the highest amongst all races, but we are not, there's only a small percentage of Black men who are incarcerated, right? Let's be honest about that. When I say lazy, and again, going to school, cool, going to work, cool. I'm talking about how we doing these things, we still are doing them in a lazy way. Like I said, you go to work and you put the bare minimum into your appearance. You put the bare minimum into your job. You complain about it. It's all of that. So I'm not taking away the fact that, and I'm not saying this is all Black women. If you don't know, my channel is specifically referencing Black women and elevating us, right? So again, two things can be true at the same time, but the reality of it is us being educated. What is that doing for us? It ain't did nothing. It ain't make it. We are so educated, but we still are the biggest fools out here. We're not we got all these degrees, but we can't even make a decision, a proper decision. We keep choosing bad men, quote unquote, that you just can't choose a good man, but you're so educated. So my thing is, if we have all this education, why are we still out here looking the way that we look? Why are we still out here choosing poorly? Why can't we make a executive decision to save our lives? Why are we getting evicted all the time? Because why don't we know how to manage our money properly? Why are we idolizing materialistic things? Did you know, right? Did you know though that Black men are the highest? They are the most involved in our Black children lives. There's only a small percent of Black men that are in prison, but yet Black women keep choosing the same ones. If there's only a small percent out of the millions of Black men in this world, why do we as such educated women keep choosing the same ones? There's so many options out here. There's so many options. There's so many options, but yet we still have kids by the same 3 men. By the same 3 men. We do it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we do this too often. We sleep with the same men. So again, if we are so educated, we keep making lazy decisions. I don't know. Y'all, we just gotta really do better, y'all. We gotta really do better. We have to really do better. Like I said, us as Black women, I'm talking about literally us and that statue, and what the statue represents, it represents the majority of Black women. Overweight, sassy, masculine, unapproachable. Unapproachable. This is where we are. Again, we keep saying these degrees, but we are making lazy decisions. I'm tired of seeing women complain about how they need to stay where they are and they don't need to change. Like I said, I did my charm school almost 2 weeks ago with teenage girls ages 12 through 16, right? 12 through 16. And I emphasize with them the importance of their perception and their appearance and how they're perceived and how they care for themselves and how they present themselves, because how you present yourself matters. Because they already had this idea, well, you don't change for nobody, you just be yourself. That line is very, yes, you do, but we don't want to take it too far. We don't want to uh make it like, oh, it doesn't matter how you look because you could just be yourself. And that's what teenage girls are hearing from their mothers, from their grandmothers, from their aunties. Be yourself. Then be yourself in today's society as a Black woman and young Black girls is go outside however you want to go outside. And we're gonna call it, I'm just being me. No, you look crazy. And I think this stuff starts young. These are learned behaviors. My daughter is 6 years old and she already has her routine. When she gets herself ready in the morning or gets her bedtime routine, she knows to get her shower. She knows she knows to put her perfume on, her lotion, her hair. She's already in a routine that she cares about her appearance. She cares about her appearance because she's watching mommy. She's learning from me. That's important. That matters. She doesn't let me. She doesn't see me walk outside and make excuses. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So we need to do Black women, we control a lot of this, y'all. I feel like, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I know that the men are the leaders in our community, y'all, but men are weak for us. Men are weak for us. And we can change a lot of this. If we level up, the men will have no other choice but to conform. If we start to change up how we operate and we start to change how we move, the men will have no choice but to conform. Because they love us. They want to be with us. They want to, be in our spaces. They do. They do. We know that. So I think as women, well, somebody asked a question, how do men do better? I think as men, honestly, I think men have to start setting standards. I think men have to start setting their own standards and setting boundaries, because there's this idea for men as well, like nothing should matter. Men are just men. Men could just do it. Like, I think y'all need to start setting your own standards and your own boundaries with us as women. That I've said this before at one point in time, and I'm saying this because I've seen this, and I think a lot of men think they're boys. You know how it used to be when you were growing up as a teenager, and the parents always make you feel like the girl was always the vulnerable one, and the boy was always going to corrupt the girl. It's not the same no more. It's not the same no more. We cannot just think we got to watch out for these boys, got to watch out for these boys. No, boys need to have standards, and boys need to now have standards for they just don't lay around with everybody. You just don't talk to everybody. You just don't entertain every woman, because it's different with women today. It is different. It is different. So when I think about my son and him going into the world, it scares me, because it's not the same that it ain't many women ain't like his mom. They're not like his mom. So you got to protect your Black sons and your Black men, because we're also damaging y'all. So we got to both set boundaries. We have to both set boundaries, because there's a lot of good ones out here that are being corrupted by us, because women are being trained, taught, groomed to take over and use men, use boys at a young age. You got 16-year-olds out here who are trying to date a 60-year-old and want him to buy her all this stuff. Already trying to create this idea, well, you can't talk to me if you don't got no money, and if you don't got this, you don't got that. Like, it's already creating this very transactional type of situation. It's already creating that. So, and we're learning these behaviors from our mothers, from our aunties, from our grandma, like the community, the social media. So I think that y'all as men I know y'all weak for women, but y'all gotta start seeing the signs as well. Because y'all don't make it better either. If you keep sleeping with a woman who does the bare minimum, and she walks outside in pajamas, and she's looks crusty and busty, right? She is going to be like, well, that's what they all say. Well, men still sleep with me. Men still deal with me. So y'all got to also realize that y'all add to this. Y'all add to our laziness, because it's men, which I understand, is everybody. It's a big world out here. It's a big world out here. So it's tough. Someone said, if you see these young men are weak for women in your culture, who teaches these young men? Who do they get most of their However, from on their guidance to life. I mean, I think the nature of men is like how God created men and women. He knew that men are weak for women. That's just the reality. We know that. That's from how God created us, men and women. He knew that, right? So that's why we need to like really lean on our faith. But there's a breakdown in our community. There is a breakdown in the fathers in the homes. You know, but again, that also goes back to who we choose to be our children's fathers. Women are having kids by the same deadbeat daddies. So you keep having kids by the same, if the same 5 women got a baby by this one man, your son ain't gonna get what he need. So that's that issue right there. So you have women raising their sons, and they're raising them to be this way, to not be real men, to not be upstanding men, to not be, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it is. So it's like we really gotta get back to family in the Black community, choosing good men to have children with, to build a family with. We got to choose better. We got to choose better, y'all. We have to choose better. And going back to us as women, like I said, going back to us as women, we have to get it together. Y'all being lazy out here, it ain't a good look. At one point in time, Black women were the way that we stepped outside was top notch. You ain't never catch a Black woman back in the day walking outside looking a mess. She was dressed to the nine. She was dressed to the nine. She was. Because everybody in the community was dressed in that same way. They had representation. They had people to look up to. Now we live in a town where you don't see that too often. And when you do, they make you think that those type of women think they better than somebody. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when I'm thinking about when my grandmother, I'm sure back when my grandmother was doing life, they didn't walk outside in pajamas and stuff like that. They didn't walk out like that. They didn't walk out with their hair over their hair. They were very kept women, representing their husbands and their families with class, with dignity, and respect. That's what they did back then. That's what they did back then. Right now, the grandmoms is 32 years old in a club with their booty shorts on. My mother-in-law is in her 70s. And she's always been a classy woman. If you look at her pictures, and like since I've been in the family, always carried herself well. Always. She's always been a well put together woman. I need to put. I don't want to put. I'm just gonna put this on for now. You know what I'm saying? But now we live in a time, like I said, we live in this. I need to make some bots and block some of these people. Yeah, after the 60s, it was crazy. For sure. After the 60s, it was crazy. For sure. The 60s really changed it. My mom's generation and on, crazy. It became the F men. Who cares how we look? Be free. Forget the family. Forget those kids. That's what it became. And now we got this statue, y'all. This statue that we have out here. Let me show the statue again, y'all. Hold on. Let me show the statue again because hold on. Cause this is this is not it's not funny. So so I've been married. I've been married since I was 27, right? Yeah. I met my husband when I was 18, right? I met my husband when I was 18. And I'll say this, I grew up in the same hood, same people, right? I was in the, I wouldn't, my family was pretty, well, I don't know, like a half lower class, half middle class, whatever. My parents were not married, right? But I grew up in an environment where all the girls in my community look like me, fast with the boys, having babies. I'm no different. Like I'm no different from where I come from, right? The drugs, the fighting. I was just saying to my husband, I'm like, it was normal in on my street that I grew up on that people was out there fighting and all the things, right? That was very normal. It was not, and I said to myself, I said, I cannot imagine that if my kids grew up in that time now where like next door neighbors outside fighting in the street and it just was the norm, right? So for me, I got exposed to going to to college. My mind was always different. That like, yes, I was very influenced as a teenager. I was very like, wanted to be with my friends and all the things. But when I was in 10th grade, I got exposed to going to this college program, which I think really, really changed everything for me. Not to say that I was a bad kid or I was going in the wrong path, but that really was something that I loved. And I knew from that point I wanted to go to college, and I went to that program when I was in 10th grade and 11th grade. I stayed for the summer, got to live on a college campus, and I had a mentor, like the mentor that I had throughout my life. He was a big influence in that program. My teachers that I had, so I really had a good surrounding, like outside people in my life. Even though I had a best friend at the time when I was growing up, she had a baby when I was in 11th grade or 12th grade, and like so I had that, right? So I went to college when I was 17 years old. I went away to college and I flourished. I had a great time in college. I met my husband when I was in college. But I always say that I could have very much got sucked into the community if I didn't have I always like had a different mindset. I really do. I always felt like I was very much like influenced, naive, but also I always had like the other side of my mind of like, Janine, what are you doing? Not like I had that angel, the devil angel, like the angel would still come out when it was the right time. And my sister, thankfully that I have a sister that's 2 years younger than me, that she had me to look up to. So she went to college, she followed my footsteps. Even though you don't really always think about your siblings, they don't want to follow your foot. They want to do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? But my sister followed me. My parents never pressured me to go to college. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't they didn't tell me I needed to be married before I had a baby. I didn't get a lot of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I could have done the same exact thing, but I wanted different. I wanted different. I didn't get sucked in. I didn't allow society to suck me in. By the grace of God, I don't, I think for me, really going away to college really, really was the key thing for me. Because staying in my neighborhood and being home for what? For what? So I think that really was a big, big, big piece for me. A big piece for me. And I've been with my husband ever since. I'm 36 years old. Been together since I was 18. So I think honestly having my husband and getting in my relationship early in life really kept me from all the nonsense. It really had me like it really did. I love that. Yes. Alhamdulillah for that. Um, so I'm grateful. Like I said, I had my teachers, great mentor. Like you kids need mentors. Kids need mentors. They need to see positive influences. They need to see that. And today's society, they're not seeing that. They're not seeing that, y'all. They're really not. My dad was a phenomenal dad. He was phenomenal. He was great. My parents weren't married. They weren't together all my life, but he was definitely, there's a lot of conversations that we had that really stuck out. That really stuck out for me. They really did. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my mom. I'm grateful for my decision to think on my own, to decide to do something different. You know, my kids get to be raised in a family. They get to see their mom, with their father. They get to see us celebrating each other and loving each other, and just have a different. My husband was raised by both his parents. His parents were married all his life up until my father-in-law passed. So he comes from a two-parent household. My husband comes from a really, really, really good home, but he got influenced by society, by the community. He did. He was out in the streets and he was young, and again, you can get sucked in so easily. Thankfully, I didn't. A lot of Black boys did back then because it was cool. It was fun. It was exciting. It was this, it was that. But he comes from a good, good family, a good home. His mother and his father, all his life, they're also with us being Muslims. And well, he was raised Muslim his entire life. I was raised Christian. Um, but it was such a, again, you also see how your mother shows up. Like I said, my mother-in-law is such a well-kept woman. So he saw what he wanted to be in a woman that he wanted to choose. He wanted a woman who's going to respect herself and carry herself well. And when she walks out in public, she presents herself well. She don't walk outside and is lazy. My mother-in-law do not like for us people to look lazy, even the kids. She don't, I was not married before. This is my first time being married. I was not married before, y'all. How many marriages I think I got? One and done. Um, so it was just not a lot of laziness, you know? It wasn't that. My mom was not walking outside looking like that. My mom was not ever doing nothing like that. So we never did that. We knew we couldn't walk outside looking like anything. And we also didn't want to. If you were a young girl back then, you wanted to look cute. You wanted to be put together. You wanted to be put together, y'all. We didn't want to be out here looking lazy like this. Let me show you the statue. That's what I'm about to show y'all. Hold on.
12-foot statue just went up in the middle of Times Square. It's called Grounded in the Stars, a towering bronze figure of an overweight woman with her hands on her hips, because nothing says art in 2025 like confronting preconceived notions of identity. Some are calling it empowering. Others are asking, is that supposed to be Big Tish, James? Either way, this is woke monument building on steroids. A 12
This is what it is, y'all. This is reality, y'all. A 12-foot overweight woman with her hands on her hips. I put my hands up on my hips and we remember that song? This is the reality, y'all. This is the reality. This is this is not a joke. This ain't nothing about this a joke. This is how they see us, because that's how we are carrying ourselves. This is how we out here moving. This is how we're out here doing things. I don't, y'all, it's crazy. I'm gonna pull up a because I had a photo that I wanted to let me try to airdrop this to my computer. Because during my charm school, y'all, we had talked about, like I said, image and how you carry yourself and how you show yourself. You know, how do you sit as a lady, right? These are the young girls from the charm school. This is me showing them how do you sit as a lady. Because if you would have saw how they were sitting, I might have a picture of how the two were sitting, but this is how ladies sit. We had this, I want them to sit there and let me show you how a lady sits, how a lady sits in the chair, not with her legs cocked open, flop back in the seat. No, we're not doing that. We are ladies. We are ladies. We are teaching them how to carry themselves. We are teaching them how to conduct themselves. We are teaching them that being lazy ain't it. Being lazy is not it. Not caring about your image is not it. There's nothing liberating. Like I said, there's nothing liberating about being lazy. Nothing at all, y'all. Nothing at all liberating about being lazy. You understand? Like it's nothing. Nothing at all is liberating. But we have adopted this mentality that it is. And that's okay for it to be that way. And it's okay to present that way. For me, I was proud to see them sharing their thoughts. I was proud to see them share their feelings, answer honestly. Answer honestly. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I wanted these younger, and I want them to understand that they are in control of how they are perceived. And this statue, yeah, I wish this statue was out when I would have done this, because I would have talked about this for sure to get their opinions on it. But I want them to understand that when people say things about us as Black women, get to the source of why they're saying it. Because a lot of times we think they're just making it up. They're just making it up. They're just hating on us. They don't like us. That's what we say. And that's not true. There's truth to a lot of this stuff, y'all. As much as we don't want to believe it, I get it. We don't want to believe it, I get it. But it's a real thing. It's a real thing. This is a real thing. So I really hope that we can recognize what it really is out here with us. How we look out here. Let's stop being lazy. Let's stop being lazy, y'all. It don't take much. It don't take much at all. it takes shifting your mindset and letting go of that lazy mindset, letting go of the people who told you that it's okay to do whatever you want to do, because it's not. It's not. So I hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. Thank y'all for the super chats. I really appreciate the super chats and the support. Share the live out. I did a quick little makeup, routine on here if anyone wants to go back and watch it. But yeah, we have to, we got to do better, y'all. Got to do better. So check out my video. I did a whole video on the statue, so it's up on my channel. Go check it out, and share your thoughts in the comments, and let me know what y'all think about this conversation. And like I said, we will definitely continue to keep this going. Gonna keep trying to bring awareness, and hopefully it'll click before it's too late. That's the key. Before it's too late is the key. So I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your Saturday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out here. Hope you have an amazing Mother's Day. Hope you're appreciated. Hope you are loved. Hope you are, enjoying your time with your family and your children. If y'all want to support the nonprofit, the information is in my bio. I'll also drop it on this in the description for this live as well. We really would appreciate any and all support to continue to host these girl Jessica Girl Charm schools, hopefully in different cities. So all supporters appreciate it. I appreciate y'all, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.